Hi everyone, welcome back. So this is going to be a rough week in terms of these videos, and not because of anything else, but the videos themselves. Most of the videos this week will require a lot of checking and finding receipts, because for me it is all about receipts. Anyway, before I get into today's video, I want to thank Karen for my lovely gift. Yes, Karen sent me Tom Bowles' book, Revenge, and it finally arrived this morning. So I have a lot of work ahead of me. Okay, so there is a bit of a backstory to everything I'm going to put into this video. Someone, and I'm not going to say a source or informant or insider, because that is not what she is. Instead, I'm going to call her an educator, because I think that is the word best describing her, as she is indeed educating me about a lot of things. Well, this person has brought a lot of things to my attention, things which had basically been hidden in plain sight, as I demonstrated to you in a previous video where I showed you those outtakes and previously unseen photographs of Meghan. I also told you there is more. So today I'm going to start on that, and from the onset I am going to tell you that it is going to take a few videos to get through it all. Today we are visiting a page on Twitter, and again I will be hiding the details, and for the very same reason as before. Those of you who want to go look for yourselves can DM me for a link. You can DM me on Instagram and I will send you a link. Okay, the first post I paid attention to came during Meghan's New York baby shower and before and during the Morocco trip in February 2019. The first post I want to draw your attention to is one dated March the 1st, 2019. It reads, "By the way, high treason applies also on helpers. Probably because of this, they are leaving your side, like rats the sinking ship." Now, by March the 1st, 2019, there was indeed talk of Meghan and Harry's staff resigning, but there was no major news stories about bullying or bad behavior or about Meghan's extracurricular activities and deals yet. Again, this post was made on the 1st of March 2019, and here are the dates of Harry and Meghan's staff which quit. Natalie Campbell quit in January 2020, Samantha Cohen October 2019, Jason Knauf March 2019, Amy Pickerel March 2019, Melissa Tibati, November 2018, Katrina McGeever, September 2018. And then, of course, there were a couple of nannies who quit in quick succession. However, it was only round about January 2020, with the resignation of Natalie Campbell and before her Samantha Cohen in October 2019, that the pattern emerged and the media reported on it. So this is the first indication that the person or persons posting on this Twitter page have insider information. Okay, and now for a post which cost me some time to research and search for an explanation and verification, but I found it. The post dated 3rd of March 2019 reads, "Darling, do you remember Seagrams? You are a legend. LOL." I just want to apologize for the background noise. It is my doggy chewing one of her toys. Okay. Now, I know about Seagram's gin, as we can even buy it here in good old South Africa, but I want to draw your attention to a newspaper article in the Star of the 24th of July 2018, and it reads in short: an heiress of the Seagram liquor fortune was arrested on Tuesday in connection with her work with an upstate New York self-improvement organization accused of branding some female followers and forcing them into unwanted sex. Claire Bronfman, a daughter of late Canadian-born billionaire philanthropist and former Seagram chairman Edgar Bronfman Sr., and three other people associated with the Nexium organization, were taken into custody and charged with racketeering conspiracy, the United States Attorney's Office in Brooklyn announced. Now, guess who was known to attend parties on the Seagram estate? None other than the young actress Meghan Markle. Toronto had a group of young women who would get invited to these parties, and Meghan was indeed one of them. Remember, or put in the back of your minds, that these young women were also the types to hang out at Soho House, Toronto, along with the then Ms. Markle, or then at least some of them, young actresses, models, or wannabe models and actresses, heiresses, and the like, the jet set and the rich. Okay, and now you are going to ask me for receipts and ask how I know or can prove that there is a link between Claire Bronfman and Meghan Markle and that they somehow knew one another. Well, check on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, you can, or you may think you scrubbed the internet. But now, Claire Bronfman's niece is influencer Hannah Bronfman. Hannah's father is Claire's brother, Edgar Bronfman. Now, Hannah had been very open about her struggles with infertility, but announced a healthy pregnancy as a result of IVF in July 2020. But that is just a bit of extra information and so on, and the name Hannah is going to pop up again later. But hang on, ladies and gentlemen, this is not where it ends, where the links between Meghan and the Bronfman family ends. We all know that Meghan was introduced to Justin Trudeau and his wife Sophie by Jessica Mulroney. And we know that Meghan became rather friendly with Sophie Trudeau. However, did you know that Trudeau's chief fundraiser and senior advisor is none other than Stephen Bronfman? And Stephen Bronfman himself was suspected of tax fraud for moving millions of dollars offshore to avoid taxes in the United States, Canada, and Israel. Okay, so I'm going to leave that link and that whole story right there for now. Now we're moving on to posts made on the 6th of March 2019, which are interesting because it talks about an upcoming visit to Canada House. It talks about a comment from Meghan being willing to raise a gender fluid child, and it talks about crashing an event her husband was invited to. And at some point, we'll get into all of that. But I'm going to move on to a particular post made on this page on March the 9th, 2019. And it reads, "Darling, we enjoy the British humour so much. They send you to talk about feminism and women's empowerment, knowing your past and accomplices. Each of you has a dossier and will be charged. By the way, how is Hannah doing?" Now, this stopped me in my tracks because remember, we have just been talking about Hannah Bronfman. And this is made just a little over a month before Archie was due to be born. And this person asked, "How is Hannah doing?" and not, "How is Meghan doing?" Anyway, that may not mean anything in itself, but you will forgive me if I instantly thought this person was talking about Hannah Bronfman. But I soon found out that she wasn't. And I just needed a little direction, and then I was amazed how quickly and easily I found the other Hannah. The Hannah they refer to here is indeed Hannah Sergel, or Sergel, Sergel. Now a 24-year-old, but in 2019 she was still 20 years old, a young New Zealand woman. Now remember the young woman holding up a sign for Meghan, and then Meghan stormed over and hugged her, and then afterwards it came out that Meghan and Hannah followed each other on Instagram since 2016. Remember that story? Well, if not, here are some pictures to refresh your mind. Now, all you need to do to find out how big a fan of Meghan Hannah is to go to her Twitter page. And before I even tell you a little bit more about Hannah, I want to point out two rather remarkable things. One is that the language in some of Hannah's posts are very, very similar to the language on the Instagram page I showed you before. Remarks like, "My heart," "my all," "miss you so much." So could it be the same person? I don't know, but it could very well be. So if it is Meghan sending her outtakes and personal pictures knowing she will post them with these kind of remarks? Or is Meghan paying her to do it? After all, this young woman was a nursing student until very recently. She has basically just obtained her nursing degree now in September and became a registered nurse or RN. Hannah mentions her own mental health struggle with depression and how Meghan helped her through it and encouraged her when they first exchanged DMs and so on. However, it appears as if the correspondence became less and less as Hannah often writes how much she misses Meghan and how much she needs a hug from Meghan. So I find it a little strange that 5 months after the two were photographed hugging in Auckland, New Zealand, being October 2018, someone would randomly mention Hannah and ask Meghan how Hannah is doing. Something else I have noticed, which may not be strange at all, but I'm going to mention it anyway, is the metamorphosis Hannah underwent after that hug. She lost weight, cut and lightened her hair, and so on and so on. Maybe it is just a natural progression into adulthood, or could there be something more? Is this just a fangirl celebrity relationship, or is there something more? What was in that letter Hannah handed to Meghan in October 2018, and then Jacinda Ardern actually took it from her, after which Harry grabbed it from Jacinda. Anyway, I'm going to leave it up to you to decide. We will be doing a bit more digging into this, but I wanted to bring this to your attention. And by the way, I have been criticized for criticizing the then Prince Charles, now King Charles, but I have never and will never call him what this particular young lady, this Hannah, calls him on a public platform. And I can't say it, so you will have to read the screen. Okay, guys, so I'm going to leave it right here for now. This is going to be a rather long track through some very murky waters, and I'm telling you now that I shall not be able to post it all on YouTube. However, I am going to go through it all and will post links in my community page as to where you can find the stuff that I cannot post here. So hang on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. It actually gets rather sad, but very, very interesting. Okay, guys and girls, that's it from me for now. Please take good care of yourselves until we meet again on the next video. Bye.